scared, as he should be, because a real man faced me man to man, not without the badge and gun, you see. He put his hands on me and physically touched me because he's working inside of the color of law. Now, if he puts me in handcuffs after I showed him that I don't have a weapon...
Stop resisting. Stop resisting.
I didn't do anything.
You did. You just tried to pull my arm.
You broke my face.
Why did you...
There you go, 249 grams.
This is on it.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, that's right, because they need to keep them under 250. That's the whole idea of that drone, is to get under that 250 gram rule, you see.
As I understand it as well, but I know obviously you don't have to do the flights.
A law professor gets pulled over by clueless cops. Big mistake. He shuts them down using constitutional law, warns them about illegal detainment, and exposes their ignorance. Two more lawyers also school officers. One refuses to show ID while dumping trash, another shuts down a UK stop with precise legal knowledge. These cops messed with the wrong guys.
Hey!
Do you have a driver's license, please? Insurance and registration.
I sure do.
Okay.
Is there a reason why you pulled me over?
Yes, there is. You ran a red light when you were at University and Rule, and then you made an improper turn right here. When you cut the car off, that was the lane number L2. Do you have a driver's license, please?
I do, but it's in here. You're not going to be scared if I reach it, are you?
Do you have any weapons?
Well, I don't answer any questions, but you can clearly see inside of my vehicle, I have camera equipment. I'm a TV producer.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license, please?
I do.
Could you grab it for me, please?
But I did a U-turn where the road was closed. I just want you to notice that.
All right. Could you give me your driver's license, please?
I can, but I got to reach in here, and I don't want you to be scared.
Just give me your driver's license.
This is the Mullen Commission. I teach constitutional law.
Okay.
And you guys are just tyrants. Like, I'm not usually this close to someone who's just so dangerous, that carries a gun around pulling people over, demanding things. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous the way you guys behave, and you wonder why people don't like you. I mean, look how you're behaving. You didn't see the road was closed back there?
I'm just asking for your
But
identification.
you didn't see the road was closed. It was plain as day the road was closed. You didn't see that?
I need your driver's license, your insurance, registration, please.
Listen, you can be short all you want, but I don't exactly drive around with my identification showing for people to see it. I mean, I can't believe you even pulled me over, to be honest. You could clearly see that road was closed.
The officer accused him of reckless driving, which he proved the officer wrong, stating that he has a camera to prove his innocence. Subsequently, the cop decides to give him a ticket, but when he exits his car to get the ticket, things escalated between him and the cops.
You didn't see the road was closed?
I saw, but I also saw that you were stopped at a red light, and you turned left at a red light, and then I also saw right here, you turned left from lane number L1 and straight into lane number 2 and cut off the other vehicle that was...
I didn't cut off any vehicles, officer. Don't make things up.
All right,
I got a camera in here, so don't say things that aren't true. I didn't cut off anybody. Let me see if it's. Let me just take a look and see. It's on the other side. Let me get my.
We're on the passenger side?
I can get it. I don't need you. I don't need your help. You can. I'm not a criminal, so get the fuck off of me, brother.
I'm gonna have you wait in your car.
No, I'm gonna grab my registration like you asked me to do.
Sir, I'm gonna have you wait in your car.
You're not giving me a lawful order. I teach constitutional law. Be very careful what you do.
Okay, this is.
Be very careful. I'm going. You're not for officer safety.
This is for
under
my
Terry versus
safety.
Ohio. I'm Pennsylvania versus Mims right now. I'm outside of my car. The 1978 holding. Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm allowed to go over and get my registration as he asked me to do. Stop demanding. Look what he's doing. He's demanding me around.
Yes.
This is not a lawful order.
Directing you back into your vehicle.
No, because I said don't tell me what to. You cannot demand that I do unlawful orders. I teach constitutional law. Be very careful, officer.
Okay.
You don't think that it'll affect you, but by about the second year, when I get into your jacket and you get a complaint on your jacket, and then you get demoted from overtime, and then that affects your pension.
Get your hand out of my face.
My hand's not in your face. I'm having a discussion like a regular.
Again,
now you're touching me. Get your fucking hands off me.
You moved into me. I was standing right here.
Look, who's walking up and doing what to who?
I'm not moving at all.
I'm not under arrest, and since I'm clearly going to identify I don't have any weapons, now he can't Terry stop me. Do you see the difference? If he didn't know I didn't have weapons, then he could handcuff me. But because now if he does handcuff me, he's working outside of the color of law, and that's U.S. Code 18, Section 242. You can't let tyrants like this push you around. He literally was physically touching me, when if he didn't have that badge and gun, he would never do that to me, ever, because he knows better. He knows what would happen, don't you? Without that badge and gun, we both know what would happen. You're the beta male. I'm the alpha male. And you know that. And you're scared. And you know you are. That's why you have your hand on your gun. Because you're scared. Look. He's scared, as he should be. Because a real man faced me man to man. Not without the badge and gun, you see. He put his hands on me and physically touched me because he's working inside of the color of law. Now, if he puts me in handcuffs after I showed him that I don't have a weapon, that's an illegal detainment, which means I could sue his ass personally. He no longer has qualified immunity. But see, he's a Neanderthal. He doesn't have any other skill sets. So you guys can see I'm showing the coward. There's the 1977 holdings of Pennsylvania versus Mims. That's an extension of Terry versus Ohio. Now see, what the coward here is trying to do is he wants to Terry stop me and put his hands on me. But what he doesn't understand is that Pennsylvania versus Mims has a very explicit statute. The officer has to believe that I'm armed and dangerous before he can jerk me out of my car or detain me with handcuffs. So show me what of my camera gear in my backpack here. What would make you assume that I'm armed and dangerous? And why are you up on me, right? It's like, this is the way American police treat American citizens. It's completely uncalled for. And they pulled me over because there was a road down there that was
Your citation, you have to take it by the...
What's my citation for?
January red light violation, improper turn. The back of the citation...
You couldn't see the road was closed back there? Oh, go to hell, dude. You guys are both authoritarian. Oh, can I walk over here now? Are you still scared, copper? Are you still scared? Are you still scared? Are you still scared?
Have a good night.
Yeah, coward.
The cop was dumbfounded when he realized who he was dealing with. He schooled him and shuts the cops down. And talking about shutting cops down, here is another lawyer who used his constitutional rights to control the cops who thinks they know better than him.
Here's my business card.
Yeah, if you don't mind, can we see your ID? Yeah. That's a slick business card.
Yep.
All right. I'll give it to him. You can keep doing what you're doing. We're just, again, we're kind of concerned. Yeah, seeing somebody dump a bunch of stuff there.
Emmanuel Olawale was standing outside his law office in Westerville on Saturday around noon, disposing of trash in the nearby dumpster. At that moment, officers from the Westerville police approached him and attempted to run his ID. However, he declined their request and asserted his rights by refusing to comply.
I'll be back. Just don't run it. Don't run my ID.
Don't run your ID?
You have no reason to.
Well, we're going to at least mark it down. We're going to take down your information.
Nope. I'm on my property. Put in trash in mine.
Okay, this is not just your property. It's several people's property.
I understand.
Okay.
But I'm not violating any law. So
No one said that you were violating any law.
No, don't run my ID. I'm a lawyer. I know my rights.
Okay.
I'm not violating any law. I'm on my property. There's no suspicion. No one called anybody. So don't run my ID. I only identified myself so that this won't escalate.
That's fine, but we can still mark down who we're out with, and so that's what we're going to do.
No, don't turn this into an issue.
Sir, you are turning this into an issue. We're just simply marking down who we're out with. Yeah. So he's just going to write it down on a piece of paper. Just your name.
Why?
Because, sir, we are out with you because we were concerned that you were illegally dumping.
But you've already discovered. Do you want me to show you my office?
I understand that you're here, but I don't know if this dumpster belongs to you or somebody else in the
It belongs
complex.
to me.
To you and you alone.
Yes.
Can you prove that that dumpster belongs to you and you alone?
This dumpster belongs to the property.
Okay,
and
that's
I'm dumping my stuff in there.
That's my point, though, is that if it's also other units...
So what? It belongs to everybody. We're paying for it. It doesn't really matter if it belongs to all the unit.
That's fine.
Just give me back my ID. Thank you. Yeah, I understand you came to check, but trying to run my ID to find anything, no, that's illegal.
He refused to be violated by the cops. He can only provide his license and registration if this was a traffic stop. But because this was not a traffic stop, he doesn't even need to provide his ID because he have not violated any law, and the cops did not suspect him of committing any crime. Speaking of traffic stops,
A man filming in public gets illegally detained until a sergeant steps in and shuts the cops down. From there, it's one brutal case after another. Wrongful stops, racial profiling, illegal searches, and a man violently tackled for fitting a description. Turns out, they had the wrong guy. He ended up in the hospital with broken bones and 75 Ks in bills. This is what happens when cops forget the law, and karma steps in.
Can I help you with anything?
No, I don't need any help with anything right now.
Okay.
Can I get your name and badge number, though?
Sure, Kuhn, KUHN, Shield 17. Can I ask you what you're doing?
17. I'm just taking video and picture. How you doing, sir?
Of what?
What?
We got a in the parking lot. Myself and Officer Kuhn.
How you doing?
You're not allowed to be in this area.
Can I get your name and badge number?
You can read it right there, but you're not allowed to be in this area. You have any business here?
I do have business here, yeah.
What's your business?
I don't have to tell you that.
What's your business?
I don't have to tell you. Hey, whoa.
What's your business?
Just relax, man. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it is a big deal because you're not allowed to be in this area. This is for authorized personnel only.
That's
so
not.
if you'd like to go in the lot.
That's not true. There's no sign saying authorized personnel only. So
No, well, I'm telling you that. So you can go into the
No,
parking
you
lot.
can't just. This is a public parking lot. So
No,
what
it's not.
happens is Geyer, is that how I say that?
It's
this
not.
is a public parking lot.
not.
Yeah, because it's funded by
It's
taxpayer.
Not. It's not.
You're wrong.
It's not. You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. Listen, buddy, we can go take a walk over here, and you can go stand over there. We can have this conversation.
You could take a walk over there if you'd like. There is no signs deeming this a restricted area.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can't do that. You can't just deem an area restricted that's open to the public.
So then maybe you're having a hard time listening. Okay, that's what the issue could be here.
No,
I'm just trying to tell you, bro.
I don't think that's it.
Go take a walk over here. Do you have issues or something like?
No,
hearing?
I think
you have
you
issues hearing.
I think you have some
You're not
anger
allowed
issues,
to be
buddy.
in this area, dude.
This guy came over here.
Come over here and walk over here.
There's a complete difference. See, this is the contrast in America of you got cops like you, and then you got cops like you. You don't need credentials, and I don't need to provide you with anything unless you have reasonable articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime. I'm about to commit a crime. Reasonable articulable. Did you learn that in training or no? Okay. So reasonable. You don't use that over here?
We don't use that phrase.
I mean, every police. Reasonable articulable suspicion.
I never heard those two words used together.
Wow, that's kind of scary.
The officers kept on harassing the guy and he was illegally detained for nothing. Thankfully, the sergeant arrived and he was quick to dismiss both of them as he told him he had done nothing wrong.
Sergeant, before I'm being unlawfully detained, so
you're not being detained. We're just
this guy told me I was being detained.
Listen, I told him he's staying here, trying to figure out what he's doing. He just want to get his name.
So I'm sure as the sergeant would know, you can't detain me for no reason.
A journalist.
I am a journalist.
Well, we're investigating what was going on, okay?
Yeah, but as a sergeant, you should know that your officer here didn't know what reasonable articulable suspicion was. So he said he's never heard of it. You guys don't use that here. Is that true?
No, what I said was I never heard the way you described it. First of all,
reasonable articulable suspicion. You said you didn't know what that was.
No. As far as how we conduct business, we don't conduct business.
Well, I'm gonna teach you something. In order to detain somebody, you need reasonable articulable suspicion. That's not speaking the way I do.
Like you just said, everybody's different,
So
right?
when you detain somebody, what's your burden of proof? What do you have? What do you do? You just go to random. You just go to random people and say you're detained.
Enough. We don't need to sit here and argue, okay? You guys are all set.
All right.
You guys can go.
Take care, guys. Stay safe out there.
Okay.
Sarge, listen. I have no ill intent.
Look, you're not being violent. You're not even being argumentative. You're free. You're recording me. That's fine. You're also being recorded. I'm sure you already know that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you so much, Sergeant.
All right. Take care, sir.
Appreciate you. Stay safe out there, okay?
Thank you.
Take care, Sarge.
All right. Take care, sir.
Have a good day, man.
You too.
Go Yankees.
There you go. We can agree on something, right?
Yeah.
This guy was driving down the road when this cop stopped him for nothing. He stopped and made sure to give the cop instant karma for messing with the wrong person.
You have the. Why you stop me first of all? What did I get stopped for? Because you yelled to me. I thought I was singing. Because I was singing, sir. What's your name? Let me have that. Yeah, no, go ahead. Okay, yeah. But why you stop me anyway? I thought you yelled for me that you needed something. Oh, what would I need you, bro? So you could come treat me like shit? Huh? So you could come get out this gun and treat me like shit? Is this your grandmother or your mother? Whoever it is. What I told you. Owner of the car? Yeah. Okay. What you want to do? You want to go see her? No. Oh, okay. Because she'll tell you the same thing I'm telling you right now. Okay, my friend. We don't like you, bro. You got a piece of that. You got a piece of that because you got a gun.
Moving on, this guy parked his car in a gas station's parking lot in Locust Grove, Georgia, and got out for a phone call. After 20 minutes, the Locust Grove police officers named Officer Pitts and Officer James, as well as Officer Mosley, came out and started questioning him about what he was doing there.
Are you hanging out? Are you meeting somebody? Are you waiting on somebody? Are you lost?
I live out here.
So, the reason I'm asking, we've been here how long? Probably 20 minutes?
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah,
you hadn't got any gas. You hadn't gone in and got any food. You parked at a gas pump, and I know the tank's not on this side. It's on the other side, right?
No, I'll never take this stuff gas.
So what are you doing?
I'm just chilling. I don't want to go home yet. I can't sit in the parking lot. Cause I live out here.
Where you have some ID? Let me see your ID. Or is it in the car?
It's on me, but what's the parking lot?
Let me see your ID. But you can make it super difficult, but you do
No,
have to
I'm just wondering why y'all. I've literally been on the phone just talking.
I know.
This area is known for narcotic activity. It's known for criminal activity. So that's another reason why we're speaking to you. We want to make sure that's not afoot.
Right here, people will park. They'll go over there. They'll wait right here. They'll wait for somebody. They'll do shit like that.
And brought under a
Bro,
street
you
light?
have no idea.
So
Well,
Yes.
I live out here.
I believe you do.
wild shit.
You know, you have your ID with you.
Is the license or is the address on the license current?
If you're not doing any business, if you're not getting gas, you're not
But I
going to
was
get
actually
food.
finna go in there. I just had a phone conversation.
Well, that's cool, but now that we've had this communication, it's what they call dispelling the alarm. Now that we're able to figure out, okay, this guy doesn't have any issues or anything like that, then we can be by our merry way. But we never met you a day in our life. I've never met you.
I've never gotten
She's
out.
never met you. He's never met you. So we're just doing our jobs, what we're getting paid to do.
The officers kept on harassing the poor guy even though he had done nothing wrong and they had no cause to detain him. He says that he was racially profiled by the cops out there. Officer Pitts, who was leading the charge, was met with instant karma as she was fired from her job just 3 days after this incident.
Head on home, all right?
Yeah, but
Second
that's
thing,
kind of
you're
crazy.
look. It's
Like I've never.
Go look up loitering in Georgia
No,
code section.
my father's a retired sheriff.
Okay.
Well, I know, but I've never.
Like I said, this area is known for drug transactions. We're gonna make sure none of that's occurring here tonight.
I've
So
literally been in the public eye, and I haven't spoken to no one. And I know you saw the weird girl run up to my car, and I'm like,
yeah, they just came from a party
with a
down
bunch
in
of
their neighborhood. A whole ton of drugs, and we're sitting right there with our blue lights on.
I do a lot of stuff in the community and shit, so my car is like really well known. I race at Silver Dollar, I do track events, I don't do no drug activity.
And like you said earlier, the reason we got out with you and asked you and didn't just like immediately throw you in handcuffs was called dispelling the alarm. That's all that happened. So, but do these change? Like, can you make them just one regular color?
I can turn them off with a switch.
Okay, so the blue lights, you can't have blue lights.
Did I ever tell you that?
I mean,
you don't have to do it right now, just before you get on the road.
Make sure nothing nefarious is going on. You understand that?
I guess.
Have a good night, sir.
All right, have a good night.
The following guy was a suspect and was kept in Aura Hospital when a couple of police officers came over and arrested him. But that wasn't all, as one of the officers did this.
Why are you doing that?
Because this is how we escort people. This is literally called the escort position for police officers. Okay. And you're going to keep doing nothing wrong.
Is there anything or what?
No, you're going to keep doing. Stop. Jesus, stop resisting. Stop resisting.
I didn't do anything.
You did. You just tried to pull my arm.
You broke my face.
Why did you? Why did you pull away from me? Hey, can we get?
See how you do shit when I didn't even do anything.
Hey Zeus, you pulled away from me and you tensed up exactly like you're doing right now. Two 11, we're gonna use supervisor over here. Sir, can I check out your head?
I'll put some guys on your head.
Let me look at it, okay? Hey Zeus, I had no desire to do that, but you tensed up and started to pull away.
Everybody's seeing you right here. I didn't do anything.
It's on camera.
That's how they treat people. All the time.
Yep,
the
it's
same
on
shit.
camera.
Hold on. I'm just trying to look at your forehead real quick,
You
okay?
hit me. You knocked me out for nothing.
You could see the blood coming out of the suspect's mouth and that he was in a state of pain. The officer involved in the incident was removed from his duty and charges are being pressed against him. Moving on, a Williamson County deputy was called for a domestic violence victim. However, when she arrived at the girl's door, she refused to admit that she had been a victim of domestic violence, claiming that she and her boyfriend had a little argument.
So what happened?
Nothing.
Look up for me. What's on your neck? What happened?
Nothing happened.
So I have witnesses saying something happened. So are you trying to protect him?
No, I just really don't like dealing with y'all. I really don't want to deal with y'all. I really don't.
Okay. So
I don't need to talk to y'all. I really don't.
Do you have your ID on you or anything?
No, I don't.
So what's your last name? Were y'all? I'm trying to figure out why your friends called the cops.
What friend?
Or your witnesses, whoever was over here that called us.
Okay.
So what?
We got into an argument.
Okay.
That's it. Literally.
Okay. It was nothing physical?
Nothing physical.
Where are the marks on your neck from?
We got into my necklace right here.
No, this right here. What is that from?
Does it really matter?
Yes.
Doesn't.
To make sure you're okay.
I'm fine, ma'am.
So
I'm fine. Like literally, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I get a rash talking to y'all. I do not want to talk to you, and especially Williamson County. Y'all have a really bad reputation. I've bad encounters with y'all. I do not want to.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I know you aren't, ma'am.
Okay, so we need your cooperation.
No, and I'm.
Do you want to press charges?
I do not.
Okay.
No, I do not.
Is there anyone else in the apartment with you?
My sister is here.
Okay, can I talk to her?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
you want to
no.
go get?
No, I really don't want you to talk.
Okay. Well,
it's none of her
if she
business.
wants to talk to me, that I can talk to her.
The female cop soon called for backup and a male cop came along. They once again went over to talk to the girl, but things got pretty rough pretty early this time.
So she's like, I don't even want y'all in my house. I'm like, well, we gotta find the guy that allegedly did this. So she didn't give direction, travel, description, anything. She's like, he left. I don't know where he went.
Third level Nickerson.
Satisfaction. What's up?
So we need to see if this guy's inside your apartment.
Who else is in here?
My sister. No, I really don't. You really don't.
This is tracking. Back up! What you're doing? It's just.
Why? Okay, well stop. Let go of me. Let go of me, please. Relax. I just want to go. Stop. I'm not trying.
Relax.
Sir, you don't have to handcuff. Please, no. Go in with him. Go in with him.
No, you stay here.
You need to go in with him.
Okay, stop.
Just stop. I don't trust. I just want to go in. Stop.
Listen to.
Don't stop refusing!
I'm not doing anything.
Relax.
I'm not doing anything. Relax. Oh my gosh, you're a psycho.
And I can talk to you and let you know why we're doing what we're doing and what's going on. Regardless of whether or not you want to cooperate, we're going to do what we need to do.
Call the attorney.
Lay there! Please, just lay there.
Relax so we can talk to you.
Call our attorney. Call the attorney right now. Call the lawyer right now.
Listen,
Relax so we can talk to you.
we're just trying to talk to you and make sure you're okay. Because we're not trying to hurt you.
You're hurting me though. You're
We're
hurting
not
me more
trying to
than
hurt you.
I wasn't hurt before and you're hurting me.
We were here.
But
Listen,
you're not helping me. You're making it so much worse.
We try to come help you.
I'm not hurt. I'm
Okay.
Just sit there.
Soon, more cops came, and they had a much more civil discussion with the girl about what had been happening and how they will stop her boyfriend from hurting her. However, the cops involved in the incident of using excessive force have been under investigation and are dismissed from the police force currently. Moving on, 30-year-old Tyler Canaris here was minding his own business listening to songs when Deputy Michael McMaster of the Paulding County Sheriff's Office came over to him. He was responding to a report of a suspicious person attempting to break into a vehicle. He claimed that Tyler matched the description as he did this.
Hands. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. Get your hands in your pockets. Turn up your chains, baby.
Excuse me.
You're being detained, bud. Don't take your backpack off. Take your backpack off.
Excuse me. What am I doing?
Take your backpack off.
Can you explain what this is
Before
for?
you go on the ground, take your backpack off.
I'm going to get picked up for work.
Come on. Since we want to play this game.
Sir.
Put your hands behind your back.
This is my phone.
Put it down.
Can you tell me what's going on?
Just put your hands behind your back before you end up on the ground.
I'm trying to drop my phone. Hello? Are you telling me what this is about?
You're being detained for a minute. You're matching the description of someone trying to break into people's cars.
I'm not breaking anyone's car. Sir! I just go to work.
Get my fucking back.
I just go to work.
You've done.
Oh my God! I just go to work.
They don't know where we are.
Help me! I just go to work.
You got that?
Yeah. I'm just going to work. Ow! Oh!
I don't know.
Oh, please!
Yeah.
I'm getting picked up for work, please!
921.
Please help me! Shut the up.
Get up.
I'm going to work!
Your traffic friend.
Ow! Ow!
Shut the dude. Get up.
Ow!
We're 95, 1 minute.
Ow! Ow! I'm going to work! I don't know what this is for! Please help!
Canaris was injured and taken to hospital later for medical evaluation. He had fractured bones and a ruptured eardrum. It was later discovered that he was not the person the police were looking for, and his attorneys planned to file a civil lawsuit against the deputy and the county. He also accuses the county of leaving their client with $75,000 in medical bills.
What did I do wrong?
Hey, 348.
Please, I just came from work.
Well, you're under arrest for obstruction, at least.
How? I literally just.
You didn't want to listen. Put your hands behind your back. That's simple. Then I told you you're going to end up on the ground. You still didn't do that. Then your ass ended up on the ground, didn't it?
I wasn't trying to.
You wasn't trying to. How old are you?
Please.
How old are you?
I'm 29.
You're older than me. Act like a man.
I'm just trying to get to work. I'm seriously not trying to do anything, please. It's just too vague.
Nope, really? I told you multiple times. All you had to do was listen. But no, you wanted to be a child and try to pull away. That's your fault.
No, come on.
No, you're under arrest.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Car parts.
A UK auditor legally flies his drone near a factory, but staff wrongly call the cops. The officer shows up clueless, tries to bluff laws, and demands ID. But the auditor schools him with real drone laws, shows his license and insurance, and holds his ground. No laws broken, just ignorance exposed.
Why do you need my name?
Because you're standing on private property.
No, I'm publicly accessible areas, surely.
This isn't public access.
Of course it is, open to the public.
No, it's not.
We'd have your gates there, wouldn't you, otherwise?
This is our property. Legally, we've got title to.
Right, but it's publicly accessible. I can walk in there if I like.
You can't.
Yes, I can.
You can't. Private property, signs over says you can't.
But I can. It's public. It's open. It's publicly accessible. You don't understand?
This is for access. There's a sign that says you're not allowed to access this property.
Where's the sign saying I am not allowed to access? Where?
Private property, no trespass.
I'm not trespassing. If I was walking in there, I'd come down to reception or something like that, wouldn't I?
Can I help you then? What would you like to do at reception?
A front staff member quickly jumps to the conclusion that the auditor is trespassing, pointing to a sign and claiming the property is private. However, signage alone does not determine legal access. What actually matters is whether the area is publicly accessible. If there are no physical barriers, security enforcement, or clear controlled entry points, then the land is open to the public until instructed otherwise. Additionally, businesses that welcome visitors, deliveries, or customers through open access points cannot automatically claim that someone is trespassing the moment they step onto the property. The auditor rightly challenges this false claim by making a clear distinction. If someone were truly trespassing, they would not be following normal access routes that lead directly to the reception.
Give me a tour. Can you give me a tour around?
You can't have a tour around. This is a private property.
Okay, I'm only asking. I'm just.
What is your name, please?
Do I have to give you my name?
If you don't have to.
Okay, I decline to give it.
You'd like to come to our property and have a tour, so I'd like you to know your name.
Well, maybe if you invited me in for a tour, then maybe I would give you my name.
But we don't do tours because this is a private business.
Oh, fair enough then. That's fine. That's okay. So I'll stay outside and just do as much video as I can see from here.
You're not allowed. I understand you want to do take a drone picture as well?
Yes, I get some aerial footage, yeah.
You can't, it's illegal.
Illegal?
Illegal.
Where'd you get that from?
Where's your license to have a drone?
Under the CAA regulations, drone pilots do not need a license to fly a drone recreationally or commercially in most open spaces. Instead, the legal requirement depends on the weight of the drone and the type of operation being conducted. If the auditor is using a drone under 250 grams, like a DJI Mini, he is legally allowed to fly it in most areas, including near industrial sites, as long as he follows basic flight rules. Businesses often assume they have control over the airspace above their property, but they don't. Airspace is regulated by the CAA, and unless the factory is in a restricted zone, such as an airport or military site, there are no legal grounds to stop a drone operator from filming.
So if I had a license, it wouldn't be illegal?
No, you need to have a license to have a drone.
Do I?
And then yes, you do. And then you have to have approval to go over private property.
Where? I think you're mistaken.
No, I'm not mistaken.
Well, where are you reading that from?
It's illegal. You can't go in a drone.
I think you're making. Are you just making that up?
I can come to your house, take a drone, and hover over your window.
Absolutely can, yeah.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can.
Okay, well,
but this isn't a residence, so this isn't a private residence. I mean, obviously, there's privacy issues with the house.
So I'm just politely warning you that if I've already called our security.
Oh, right, okay.
If you put the drone up, I will call the police and we'll take legal.
The drone will absolutely definitely be going up.
This situation is a common example of businesses believing they can dictate drone usage simply because they don't like it. The staff member's insistence shows their lack of education on the matter. Instead of taking the time to check the law, they resort to threats, assuming that police presence will somehow override the legal rights of the drone operator. What makes this even more frustrating is that police regularly attend these types of calls, despite the fact that no crime has been committed. If officers aren't properly trained on drone laws, they may wrongfully side with the business, reinforcing this false belief that filming from the air is prohibited. The staff member's reaction isn't just a waste of police time. It also highlights why businesses need to be properly informed about photography and drone laws to prevent unnecessary confrontations like this. Now the police arrive, and an officer immediately starts fishing for information and also fails to follow proper police protocol.
Basically, the reason we've been called is because the facility here, they've called with some concerns of you've been flying a drone, potentially planning to fly a drone over their facility. They've noted obviously the fact that they've got quite flammable materials, machinery and stuff is quite expensive and obviously could cause some damage. They're worried obviously if you were to fly a drone over their property and it was to malfunction for some reason or other,
right,
then obviously it could cause some serious damage or risk or harm to others.
So why is that a police matter?
Well, obviously, if you were to cause damage with that intention, that would be a police matter.
Intention? I won't intention it to let me drone go.
I'm not here to cause a bother or fight. I'm just wanting to know what you're doing here and what your intention is.
The officer attempts to justify police involvement by bringing up the possibility of the drone crashing and causing damage. However, hypothetical risks do not create a police matter. If no crime has been committed and no reckless behavior is taking place, there's nothing for the police to act on. When the auditor questions why this would be a police issue, the officer doubles down, claiming that if damage were caused intentionally, then it would fall under police jurisdiction. This statement is completely pointless. Of course, intentional damage would be a criminal act, but there is no reason to assume that's happening here. Flying a drone within legal guidelines is not a suspicious or reckless activity, and suggesting that it could be is a flimsy excuse for unnecessary police intervention.
Obviously, I understand it was something to do with the YouTube channel or something.
I explained everything to them, and then they still called the police. So, did they ring 101 or 999?
That's 101.
Oh, good, thank God for that. It's not an emergency.
No.
So
what is your purpose? It's for a YouTube channel.
Yeah, just go around doing making videos of companies I found interesting. So do that really, and fly my drone and get some drone footage and stick it all together. I explained everything to them, and they wouldn't have it. He's just saying it's illegal. He went and looked at the CAA rules, and he came out saying you can't fly within 50 metres and all this. But
I'm assuming that's what you were all planning to do, is obviously within those, outside of that 50 metres. Is that
no, not at all, because mine's a 249 gram drone, so therefore my drone doesn't fall to that rule.
The officer incorrectly assumes that the auditor must stay 50 metres away from the factory when flying his drone. However, the auditor immediately corrects him, pointing out that this rule does not apply to his drone because it weighs under 250 grams, a fact the officer should have known before making such a claim. Under UK drone laws regulated by the CAA, the 50-metre horizontal distance rule applies only to drones above 250 grams when flying near uninvolved people or structures. However, for drones under 250 grams, such as a DJI Mini, the restrictions are far more relaxed. Operators of these lighter drones are legally allowed to fly closer to buildings and people, as long as they do not intentionally fly over large crowds and maintain visual line of sight. The auditor is forced to educate an officer on regulations they should already understand, proving how ill-prepared police are when dealing with public photography and drone use.
I can fly anywhere without drones, so...
It does say within the 50 metres of people or buildings?
Nope. Not on the CA. So drones under 250 grams can fly within those.
Okay. And obviously within that as well, obviously if it's got a camera, I'm assuming you're adhering to obviously GDPR rules and stuff like that as well.
I'm exempt to GDPR because I'm not registered on GDPR and I'm not a corporate company. So all mine is citizen journalism and it is just for public interest. So GDPR doesn't apply to me.
This misunderstanding happens far too often. Police and businesses frequently believe that anyone recording in public must follow GDPR, when in reality, GDPR applies to organizations and businesses that collect and process personal data, not private individuals recording for personal, journalistic, or recreational purposes. The UK GDPR and the Data Protection Act 2018 do not restrict a member of the public from filming what they can see from a lawful position, including using a drone. The fact that officers continue to make this mistake proves a serious gap in police training. Instead of wrongly insisting GDPR applies, officers should be learning the difference between corporate data collection and personal photography.
What drone is it that you fly, sorry?
So it's the DJI Mini 3.
Right, okay. I'm assuming that is under the...
It's a 249 gram drone, yeah. Do you want me to show you? I can show you.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. I'd like to show you. I like to stay within everything I do this all the time, so everything I do is within the bounds of the law.
Yeah.
So he pulled out the wrong law, unfortunately. There you go, 249 grams.
It says on it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, that's right, because they need to keep them under 250. That's the whole idea of that drone, is to get under that 250 gram rule, you see.
As I understand it as well, that I know obviously you don't have to do the flight course or flight test that comes with it, but if you are flying it with a camera, you still need to register for an operator ID. Is that the case?
I do, yep. Did you know? Did you see that on the? There's a. I'll show you.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Yeah, it was on there. I did.
Yeah. So you have to have it visible on the drone as well. So if you look, so there's the operator ID. So I won't give you any more than that.
You're not allowed to allow me to read it or show it.
Have I broken any law?
Well, I just wanted to see what it was.
Well, it's your operator ID.
Yeah, no, but
you could identify me through that.
Yeah, but that could be a number of letters or something. That
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I've not broken,
willing to provide me with the operator ID.
Do you think I've broken any law?
No, but obviously what they're saying here is obviously it's their private property. You're wanting to fly over their property, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously to do that, you should identify yourself when asked.
No. Not really? Why should I? I'm a member of the public in a public area. Why should I identify to someone?
Filming over a private land that they've asking.
Doesn't matter.
Ideally, respectfully, should ask for their permission to do so.
Now in the video, the officer starts shifting from law enforcement to policing feelings, making the situation even worse. After the auditor shows that his drone has a valid operator ID, which legally identifies him as required under CAA regulations, the officer becomes unnecessarily nosy, insisting on reading it more closely despite already having the information he needs. When the auditor pushes back, correctly asking if he has broken any laws, the officer tries to guilt trip him, stating that because he is filming over private land, he should identify himself and ask for permission out of respect. This response is completely irrelevant to the law. There is no legal requirement for a drone operator to ask permission from a business before flying in unrestricted airspace. The officer's argument is based purely on feelings rather than legal facts, trying to make the auditor feel as though he is in the wrong, despite following all regulations correctly.
Think of it this way, so if I've got a light aircraft and a helicopter and I fly over here, do I have to ring every single company saying I'm flying over your business?
No, because that's within over 400 or 400 metres plus, isn't it?
The helicopter? No chance.
They're not filming as well.
I can go 120 metres.
Like I said, I'm not here to cause a fight or bother.
Yeah, but you're making rules up, so...
I'm not making rules up, am I?
Right, I think you are.
What rules have I made up there, sorry?
That I have to seek their permission to fly the drone over their building.
It's good to do so, isn't it?
Well,
you're a member of the public and their business trying to do their day-to-day work. Obviously it would have been nice for you to go and say, can I have this permission? And they'd turn around to you and say, ideally no, they don't want you here, do they?
So reverse to that is, I'm a member of the public trying to do my piece of work, they should just leave me alone.
The officer now starts making it seem like he's defending the business, claiming that the staff are just trying to do their day-to-day work and suggesting that the auditor should have asked for permission out of courtesy. This is completely irrelevant to the law. Filming from a publicly accessible area or using a drone in unrestricted airspace does not require permission, and the officer should know that. The auditor rightfully flips the argument back on the officer, pointing out that he too is simply doing his work, and that it's the business that is interfering with him. The officer's stance makes no sense, as it suggests that someone exercising their legal rights should go out of their way to accommodate the feelings of a business that is trying to restrict something they have no authority over.
Shelley. Okay. Works both ways, doesn't it? So they should respectfully leave me alone to get on. I think I've had to wait for you guys. He said I've rung the police, so I waited. I don't want you chasing me around the estate.
What is the plan of action then? How long are you meant to be here?
I'm around all the estate. I'm going to do as many as I can, many buildings as I can, so you probably get more calls. I don't know. Right. You recording the conversation?
Yes, I am. Yes,
should you not have told me? Should you not have retold me?
No.
Yes, you should. I think it's, yes, it is. It's in your policy to inform them.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not.
It is. It's in your
It's
check
not.
your policy.
It's not unexpected when dealing with emergency service that we will be recording.
This is not an emergency. This is not an emergency, though, is it? So
I'm an emergency service worker. Right. So, like I say, I can go to any incident I'm called to and activate my body-worn camera. I don't need to tell you that it's activated.
Right. What did you mention earlier? GDPR.
Yes.
How do I know that you was recording? How would I know that I can now get hold of that?
It's not unexpected when dealing with a person of
incorrect, officer. Incorrect, I'm afraid. You are.
I'm not.
This response directly contradicts police policy. According to the College of Policing's body-worn video guidance, officers must inform individuals at the earliest opportunity that they are being recorded, unless doing so would compromise safety or an ongoing investigation. The officer's refusal to acknowledge this isn't just a mistake, it's arrogance. Instead of admitting he's wrong and following proper procedures, he digs his heels in, refusing to accept that the auditor knows his rights better than he does. The auditor then makes a sharp and valid point, stating, "You mentioned GDPR earlier, so how would I have known you were recording? I could request that footage." This is a powerful argument because the officer previously tried to apply GDPR rules to the auditor, yet failed to follow those same standards himself. The officer is clearly being hypocritical, enforcing laws when it suits him while ignoring them when he's the one in the wrong. This moment exposes the officer's ego and unwillingness to admit fault. Instead of accepting basic policy requirements, he refuses to acknowledge that he should have informed the auditor about the recording.
Right, so if you see the signs on there that they say video in operation, they've told you they are recording. You have to tell me you're recording. Right, okay, check it. Read your rules.
I will do.
Yeah,
I don't.
I think you do. I think you do.
I don't. Like I say, I'm not here to pick a fight. Right. I've just come down here on the basis of what they've said. They've got concerns for the risk of their staff and their employers.
Right. From a man with a camera. From a man with a camera. So what is the risk?
Like I say, they thought, or their rationale to us, was that if that drone were to malfunction over their property, it could cause significant damage or risk to others.
Okay, but that's my responsibility.
Yes.
Yes, and I have insurance for that. If that did happen, I'm insured.
Public liability.
I have public liability insurance, yes.
Public liability insurance is a type of business insurance that covers the costs of claims made by third parties for injuries or property damage caused by the insured person's activities. In the context of drone operations, PLI provides financial protection in case the drone were to accidentally cause harm to a person, vehicle, or building. While not a legal requirement for hobbyist drone pilots, it is often recommended for responsible operators, especially those who use drones for commercial or journalistic purposes. By mentioning his public liability insurance, the auditor is demonstrating that he takes responsibility for his drone use and understands the importance of safety and risk management.
So I'm fully insured, fully licensed. I do this all the time. I wouldn't do it illegally because that'd be silly. You guys would be arresting me every minute, wouldn't you? You know, so I do it all legally. I've got to mention that thin blue alarm badge as well. I've got to mention the thin blue alarm badge. That is not standard uniform.
Okay.
So that shouldn't be on there. That's offensive for me.
Why is it offensive?
Because that's about the officers that have fallen in the line of duty, and more private citizens are being killed by officers than have fallen in the line of duty. And you can check those statistics. So that is offensive. And it should be removed. Could you remove that? No. Okay. So that is not standard uniform. Answer me that one.
It's a charitable organisation.
Is it standard uniform?
My respect to other officers.
Is it standard uniform?
It's not issued to me by the police. No.
Thank you. Shouldn't be on there then. I'm offended by that. Please remove it.
The thin blue line is often used by police to symbolise solidarity and remembrance for fallen officers, but it has also been widely criticised for how it is interpreted by the public. Some view it as a symbol of police pride, while others see it as a sign of division, representing an us versus them mentality between the police and the public. The badge has also been associated with police misconduct and lack of accountability, as it is sometimes used by officers who resist scrutiny or criticise public oversight of policing. Some police forces have banned or discouraged officers from wearing the thin blue line patch, arguing that it goes against neutrality in policing and could make officers seem biased or unapproachable.
Can I ask, obviously, why you're trying to hide your identity and you're not willing to give me any of your personal details?
All my videos are faceless, so I always keep it like this, so faceless. He comes out with his camera, he's videoing me. Right. So I don't want him knowing who I am. Your van pulls up with his China windows, if I'm videoing that, it could capture my face. So it just saves me having to load
to give me your details, like it's for no reason other than we log it down, and then obviously if in future we can contact you rather than having to appear in place, we can give you a call for all I know.
No, I'll decline that request, so yeah, I haven't broken any laws, so I don't need to, do I really? So,
like I say, as long as you're fine and happy that you don't cause any further injury, then
absolutely, yeah,
you'll be fine. Like
yeah.
You're not technically committing any offences as it stands at the moment, but just like I say, just be respectful of others as much as you can.
But they have to respect. It works both ways. So they have to respect what I'm here to do.
Done to you.
Oh, he's not being bad. Don't get me wrong. He's not being bad. But what I'm saying is that I'm here to do what I'm here to do. He needs to respect that of me. He can't understand that I'm allowed, as you know, to video anything I can see on my hands from a public area. I am allowed to fly my drone over. The CAA regulates the airspace. It is not a no-fly zone, so I can fly here. It's not a problem. I'm liable for any issues if it falls out the sky. I have insurance, etc. You know, so I'm totally legal what I'm doing.
I'll go speak with my colleagues.
Yeah, please do. Yeah, absolutely.